Good, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new edition of Boogie and the Bell. Yes, we are back, and we have been on a little bit of a break, but we're back in action, way deeper into the playoffs, ready to talk about everything going on in the sports world. But more importantly than that, Boogie, how are we doing today?
Hey man, doing great on this Memorial Day weekend. Happy Memorial Day out there to the fans watching. Like you said, man, it's in the heat of the conference championships in basketball, and I'm ready to get into it.
All right, let's get right. Well, actually, let's take a little break. We're gonna take a quick pause. Boogie, I gotta show you something really ridiculous that I've been running into. I can't believe this shit really exists. I respect the guys who do it. No, I don't. This shit is stupid. But we're going to look at it a little bit, man. So there is a trend going on, and it's called Run It. And I don't know if it's a trend. I think this is a full league, full sport, full just craziness. Like, I think this is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. But apparently, Boogie, we aren't fans of the sport, but there's a sport called rugby that's very similar to football as far as physicality and a little bit of how it's set up on how you score, you travel, you do all these things, right? They decided to take out the scoring part and just do the chaos part. So we're going to watch three of them. We're going to watch three, and you let me know how you feel about this new and upcoming Aussie, however you say it, Australian sport.
All right. Oh, that's a big man.
Oh,
God. God. Is he all right? Dang. These are some big men. Do you see how huge these are?
Ooh.
Who won? Who won? I can't tell who won. If they both don't pass out, I don't know who wins.
Ooh. Double knockout.
Damn. They both died.
Okay. All right. That was a lot. All right. Hold on. Share something.
Damn.
All right, stop sharing. Okay. Boogie, that was a lot. And that was just 3 clips, right? So it's not hard to say how it's going viral or why it's going viral, right? Within 3 clips, we were already just like, boom. Anyways, Boogie, how do you feel about them taking every sports practical part of rugby out of the sport and going straight in for the violence?
Like when people say football is legalized violence, that's actually legalized violence. Like they're just running into each other. There didn't really seem to be any strategy, any system. It's just, what was the
full head of steam.
What was the football drill where you stand in the middle and people just run up and hit you? I forget what it's called.
Bull in the ring, or I know you're not talking about Oklahoma's.
No, like Bull in the Ring. It's kind of like Oklahoma's almost, but like Bull in the Ring, there's no objective other than just go and hit somebody. It's kind of crazy.
You did just say something, so we can't lie and say we've never done this before. We've done this. Like, it's called Oklahoma's. There's nothing different than Oklahoma's. Where I would say this differs. It looks like they're looking for the biggest, the strongest, potentially the slowest mentally person to run into each other at full speed. Now, I don't know how much pads protect you. I do know our helmets at least do protect collision head on head, which would just split you open. So from that standpoint, I'm not going to say I haven't done something like this. I'm not going to say that I didn't enjoy doing something like this. All I'm going to say is to specify the entire sport around this is fucking insane. Like, can we just agree that getting the 2 biggest, strongest Polynesians, white boys, because I haven't really seen any other races do it. Like I said, I think it's an Australian thing, to run full speed into each other. And the best thing you get out of it is a crowd's roar after you watch this person you just knocked out with your shoulder or your body, or I hope I never see it, but your head.
It's crazy. Like, if anything, all right, those dudes competing in the sport, that's who we need to fight the gorilla. That's who
exactly.
We need. You give me like 20 of those guys, and I think they gonna take down a gorilla. I think.
Here's a good question. So yes, gorillas are stronger and might have more mass, but are they coordinated enough to take a Samoan head on and run it? Because
I
you need
think
coordination.
so.
You need
I think
coordination,
so.
though.
You got to think they're gorillas. They can still swing from trees and shit, bro. So they got coordination.
For sure. Okay, but I'm talking about full speed, right? So these guys are running like receiver speed, like straight, like gunners. Literally, we were just talking about this before the show. They were running like gunners, trying on a punt return at each other.
Well, like gorillas, they don't run upright. They do like the four-legged, like with their arms on the ground and shit. But like they move. Like they you know.
You know what? I think we just raised the next great question. Can a Samoan dude knock out a gorilla and run it? I really don't think that all that shit's cool, El Boogie, but you don't have a 350-pound Samoan dude running at you full speed in human form.
Knock out a gorilla? I don't think you can. I don't think they're gonna knock out a gorilla.
If a gorilla was in the back of a truck and it got into a brutal car crash, it would get knocked out, just like how a human would. I know that their neck muscles don't connect to their brain that well to the point where they can't get knocked out.
But everything's just more dense. It's just more. You're just more dense.
Would you like me to show you these videos of these dense human beings again?
Listen, but a gorilla's bigger than all of them.
Hey, bro, these niggas are running full speed at each other, though. Like, what is wrong with them? Hey, it is crazy, but you know what? You said something that I wasn't prepared to address, and you said it's like Oklahoma. I said kind of like Oklahoma's. You're like, yeah, kind of like Oklahoma's. I was like, you know what? We've done this before. We've done this every single season, actually.
Yeah, there's even somebody
on shoulder pads. Usually Oklahoma's isn't just one-on-one, so it's like a little more coordinated with more moves. Their only goal is to hit each other. In Oklahoma, you can still get juked. You can still get, you can still do the safest thing possible. Their goal is to see what happens when an unbreakable force hits an unstoppable. All right, what did they say in Joker?
An unstoppable force and an immovable object.
That's what this shit is, Boogie. Like, this is the definition of that. This is what the Joker was talking about. Anyways, I just wanted to get our energy a little bit up, so. Anyways, that's running. We're definitely going to watch a compilation on this show one day. We're going to watch a full compilation of these guys. 3 videos in, already got our blood pumping. But anyways, El Boogie, moving on to the NBA Finals. NBA Conference Championships. My bad. Let me take a step back. We're actually going to talk about what got us to the Conference Championships and what these teams that didn't make it need to do in the future. El Boogie, for the first time in my life, and I'm sure there's a time period where it could have happened, but I don't remember it. Only the young guns are left, right? Every superstar on each one of their teams has not won a championship, has not been in the league for more than 10 years, and is what people consider the new class, right? I think it's who's 29 out of all these guys. One of them's 29. Or no, I think Jalen Brunson's 20.
Jalen Brunson, I think, is the oldest.
Which is crazy when you think about it, because it's like this generation is like we consider Jalen Brunson the younger group, right? So everybody's younger than that. I don't know. I wonder how old Shai. Oh, Shai's 26. All right, cool. Anyways, shout out to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the MVP. But anyways, let me get to the question. El Boogie, how do you feel about these 4 teams competing for their first potential championship?
What I like about it is I think this has been the first year in a long time where it feels like team basketball has dominated versus superstar driven teams. Not to say that each team doesn't have a superstar, but all of these teams play great basketball as a team. They have different strengths, different strategies, but all of them play team basketball. Yes, you do count on your stars being stars, but as overall, the teams around them are good. Like, your starting 5 on each team, like, none of them have a bad starting 5. None of them. Like, the Thunder. The Thunder have SGA, Jalen Williams, Chet. You can get some good basketball out of Lou Dort if he starts. Like they all have a good starting five. The Pacers, I said it previously, the Pacers are a roster full of B plus players. Like that's what I see them, a roster full of them. The Knicks, they're starting five. They get after it on defense. They have energy. They can shoot from the 1 to the 5. And who am I missing? The T Wolves. Obviously, you have Ant Edwards, but then you have defensive monsters in I forget the forward's name. Not Julius Randle, even though Julius Randle's been balling. Um, you have Rudy Gobert who can clog up the middle. Like they're all good teams. Good team basketball is what's showcasing this year, which I think this may be a transition period in the NBA. Yeah, I think we talked about it previously. Like the super team era is over.
Absolutely.
Let me get one star and another star, maybe a third star, put them together. We're gonna go win a chip. Nope, that day is done. Now it is who has the best overall team. That's who's gonna win, and that's who's gonna make it.
And here's what I'll say to your point. I agree, and I literally asked my question backwards anyway. But anyways, here, I completely agree with you, but here's what I'll say. I would say what you're saying makes even more sense for the first round than it did for the second round. When I look at the second round, the only way you made it to the second round is having a better established team than having a better established superstar. And I will exclude the Warriors, right? Because we saw what happened with the Warriors as soon as Steph Curry went out. Obviously, they were a very superstar-driven team, right? Jimmy Butler probably just needed a little more time. I don't put the whole Jimmy Butler's old thing on it. I just think that he knew his role, and he lost that role as soon as Steph went down. And he wasn't prepared to be playoff Jimmy like he would be in the past, where it's like, I got to put my Superman cape on. I don't think he expected that role at all. So with that being said, when I look at the first round, the reason why the Bucks couldn't get over the Pacers is because it was so superstar-driven. Damian Lillard didn't make it to there. It was superstar-driven. Without Giannis doing some ridiculous amount of things, they couldn't do nothing.
But you could argue Giannis is the best player on the court.
Like, that's my point. That's why I agree with you.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I agree with you where I'm saying in the first round, I'm noticing that only teams could make it on. You can't just have a superstar and expect to make it anywhere, right? Even with the Rockets, like, their superstar left the building. He didn't even show up to play. Like, their future superstar. We can't even give him superstar yet. The Lakers, 2 superstars, no team. You know what I'm saying? The Grizzlies, up and down. They just had an off season. Same thing with the Heat. They had an off season. They're recovering. The Pistons, they're up and coming. And then the Magic's still up and coming. Now, moving on to that next round, now I'll literally ask the question about these teams that need to move for the future. I feel like every single team in the second round is one piece away from beating every team they play, right? The Celtics, unfortunately, Jason Tatum went down. That was their piece. The Cavaliers, one piece away. The Nuggets, one piece away. The Warriors, they need their superstar, but I still feel like the Warriors are one piece away because you cannot be overly dependent on Steph. And Jimmy Butler obviously wasn't the answer to get over, right? Not saying that they ever had a chance against the Timberwolves, but they damn sure had a better chance when Steph was playing.
I was about to say, I think if Steph plays, I think that's a 7-game series that could swing the Warriors' way.
Okay.
Well, if Steph is healthy.
Let's start with the home team, and then we'll get into the guys who have the best chance of going to the finals. But let's start with the home team. What do the Nuggets need to fix before next year? Or during next year, because I think they're going to do more moves during than before the year. But go ahead.
I think the Nuggets. I think it's. And this may sound crazy. I think it's time for a hard, not a complete teardown, but I think it's time for a big re-equipping or retooling. I think some of the players on the roster. Not that I necessarily want to see them go, but I could see them go. I could honestly see them getting rid of a Michael Porter Jr.
Yes.
I could see them getting rid of a Jamal Murray. I could see them. I know, right? And hear me out. Like I said, I don't necessarily want these players to go, but I could see the team doing it, and it kind of makes sense. Get rid of the guys who are making big money. They're both getting paid big money. And 2 have consistency issues. Michael Porter Jr., he's a renowned shooter, but he's very hit or miss to me. When he's peaking, But when he's not, it's like, and then Jamal Murray, obviously, like, we've seen him put up 40 points in the playoffs and be amazing. But it's a consistency thing, it's a health thing. Obviously, he is amazing, but I also feel like you could send him and get a lot for him. So I think it would be a good idea to rebuild this roster. You keep Jokic. I think you keep Aaron Gordon. I love Aaron Gordon for the energy, the defense, I love Aaron Gordon. I also like Christian Braun. I don't know if Christian Braun should be a starter. I think Christian Braun would be a great seventh man. I think he'd be a fantastic seventh man on the bench. Energy, defense, can shoot when he needs to.
Developed shooter. He's developed his shot, which is what you want out of your younger players.
Exactly. And so I think aside from that, everyone else on the roster is kind of expendable, and you get rid of Michael Porter and Jamal Murray just because you can also get more for them because they are still younger. They do obviously have good basketball ahead of them. You'll get more for them rather than trying to, like, who else can they really trade and move off of? Everybody else is kind of old.
I completely disagree with you with just one. I think you keep your solid core, right? And unfortunately, Michael Porter did get dropped out of the solid core. He was a part of that establishment during that playoff run. He, in the past 2 years, has took himself out of that. But anyways, you keep Jamal Murray. You keep Nikola. There's not even nothing to say there. Nikola Jokic. Aaron Gordon, absolutely keep. Dog, still got probably one of the healthiest Nuggets, right? Like, he has like this little commercial and everything. I'm like, this dude's one of the healthiest players. Maybe genetically gifted. Maybe takes everything serious. I don't know. Aaron Gordon's probably looking good for the next couple of years. I don't think he's going to get old as fast as others on this roster, right? And then who's that? Yeah, I think that's it, actually. That's 3. Now, who enters the core? I say Christian Braun has entered the core for these upcoming years. I'm not sold on the development of Julian Strawworth. I want him gone. I don't see the athletic ability developing in the next 5 years. I want him gone. Like, he was a good first-round pick for where the Nuggets usually have to pick. And then you see him play, and it's like the young guys, they probably can't adapt to the speed as fast, right? I don't see him adapting to the point where Christian Braun has. I just don't see it, right? I think Christian Braun, what he was doing in his rookie season was a lot better than what Julian Strawworth was doing. I remember Christian Braun's rookie season.
But that's not necessarily fair just because the team was a lot better around him when Christian Braun was a rookie, because that was the championship year.
Yes.
They had a great bench. So Christian Braun got to be the like 9th guy, maybe 10th guy coming into the rotation. But
he was effective.
He was effective, yeah, but like the team was much better.
I don't see him trending in that Christian Braun for Jokic's prime. I don't see it. I want him gone. Russell, gone. I love Russell Westbrook. He wasn't even driving to the lane the same anymore. Like, there is a age thing. I don't know if it's in his contract where it's like we expect these things out of you, but whatever's in his contract was not what we got out of this last series. The series before, yes. This series, no. Sorry. He got to go. I don't want a veteran above 34 years old in replacement of Russell, right? I don't think KCPs and those type of players are above 34 yet. I don't want one player to replace Russell Westbrook past the age of 34. It's just not necessary unless it's old dude from the Wolves. What's his name? Still playing? Still hasn't got a chip?
Mike Conley.
Yes, that's who we need. The Nuggets need a Mike Conley. And I don't want Chris Paul. I do not want – no, because they'll go off and do – that's what teams are trying to do. Like, oh, let's just get a Chris Paul. Yes, you're going to be a good team, but you're not going to be a playoff – you're not going to be a championship team. And he is getting older and older and older. Leave him in San Antonio if they choose to pick him back up. I want somebody younger than 34 years old who will take the place of Russell Westbrook. Michael Porter Jr., I say take the salary hit. I think they should cut him and see if they could recuperate like a quarter of that. Yes, I don't think trade him. Just get him out of here. Now,
you don't think you could trade him?
Who's picking up him with shoulder injuries? Remember, he does, and God bless him. He does have a horrible back, like
yeah,
deep
that's
back
true.
surgery.
That's true.
I think I don't know if his career peaked out. I'm not going to put that on that man. I hope he has a great career. I just don't think he fits in with this unit no more in the speed that they plan on probably acquiring next year. I don't think he's going to keep up with the speed. I don't think he's willing to risk his body as much as a Christian Braun. I don't think he's willing to play as much defense to garner as many fouls and attention. I just don't see it.
I don't know. Maybe like a rebuilding team that has a lot of resources, like the Brooklyn Nets. They don't got a lot going on over there.
He needs to play.
They have a lot of picks. They're rebuilding.
He needs to play for a really tough team like the Warriors.
Nah, they're not paying. They're not taking that contract.
He needs to play for a tough team. He needs some tough defensive players on his team to hold him down. Because if he's
you don't. He's not going to go nowhere and be like a difference maker. Like I said, that's why I think the Nets. They have capital. They're not paying anyone big money, so they can take that contract. And they have they have resources to go trade for him if they want to.
See, unlike most people, I'm not an MPJ hater, but I don't see him fitting in the system next year. Whatever system they come up with. Shout out to, I don't even know his name, but the new head coach. He did get granted the head coaching position. I don't think he's bad. I think it's cool to stay with the same unit and the same team. They know him well enough. If they respect him, then I respect him. He's not really as tough as Mike Malone, but obviously they wanted to get away from that. So if you do go the opposite, who's already on the roster, knows the roster, and knows what to probably plug in, shout out to that. But anyway, not too much time on the Nuggets. You want to close out the Nuggets? You got anything else?
It's time for a soft rebuild. We've had a good run.
Soft. Not Jamal Murray. Soft.
Not
soft.
Maybe. But we've had a really, really good 5 years. 2 conference finals, 1 NBA finals, 1 title, Jokic 3 MVPs. The past 5 years have been great to the Nuggets. If you take a year or two, drop down a little bit, maybe be a play-in team, and then try to make a resurgence in 2 years.
I think the right players are available this year. I know there's going to be some KCP. There's KCPs out there. I know there is. There's, what's his name? Reggie Jackson. Those guys are always available every offseason. It's just plugging in the ones that best. Bruce Browns. Those guys are available every single year. Every single year you can get that one piece that you need. You just can't let KCP, Bruce Brown, Reggie Jackson, which Reggie Jackson wasn't crazy on the Nuggets, but he was a solid player. He could come in and do what he needed. He would have played better this year than I believe Russ did. I do. I'm sorry.
Fair. That's
but
fair.
Going out and getting Russell Westbrook and holding on to something like an MPJ, you get results like you did this year.
I just don't want to see them. I don't want to see them move off like the super young talent on the team because
Star Wars.
If anything, here's my thing.
Watson can go.
Here's something to think about. Think of the superstars on all the teams that are remaining, and guess what they are? 3 out of the 4. So I'm talking SGA, Haliburton, Jalen Brunson, and Anthony Edwards. 3 of them are on their second team. They were young guys showing potential, and they got traded away, and now look at where they are. So moving off of young talent too early, I think this is a warning, hey, they could be something, right? So maybe hang on to them.
We'll save it for after the season, but we got to talk about that Paul George trade. That's pretty deep.
That trade was crazy.
That's pretty deep. But Paul George was a prototype. He was a prototype for sure. I can't hate on Paul. PG was cold. Just not since the end Pacers. But all right. Anyways, all right. Sorry, way too much time on the Nuggets, but it's homegrown, baby. It's homegrown. We love our Nuggets, man. I will say their season was not a failure. Two game 7s after firing a coach a week before the season ends. I mean, hey, they went out there and they did their thing. All right, anyways, the Warriors. What do the Warriors need to do next year? I think this one's simple. I'm going to go first. This one's simple cut for me. Steph Curry, if doesn't get hurt, we could be looking at a Warriors finals, period. I wonder how old Draymond's going to get in this offseason, but he hasn't shown any interest in retiring. I think they got one more in them. Hopeful health. It's not like he did it because he was out of shape. It's not like it was a freak accident. It was just literally an injury that took over a week, and they just couldn't hold it together for that week. Jimmy Butler has an extra year, or do they have to sign him again?
They signed him to an extension, so I think they have him for 3 more years.
All right, Jimmy. Jimmy, get familiar with this team because that playoff Jimmy shit, we let it slide this year. We're not letting it slide next year. El Boogie, what do you think?
To be honest, I think the Warriors are in a tough predicament because I don't think you want to run it back completely as currently constructed. I don't think so. I think they need something. It's just hard for me to figure out exactly what to do, what they need. I mean, obviously, I think they need better play out of their bigs, not Draymond. I think Draymond should not be your center. I really don't. I think he can be a switch four. I think Draymond can be a switch four, where if he gets switched, he can go. He can play a guard. He can play, or he can play against a guard. He can play against a center. But I think they need a center who can come in and actually be like has some sort, like they need like a Miles Turner. If they had like a Miles Turner, a big man who could shoot and has like some mid-range game, doesn't have to be great, but someone who has the capability, so just like a step down from Miles Turner, I think that would make a world of difference from the Warriors. I know they have Post, who was a rookie. I just don't see it consistently enough from him. So I think they need a big man. I'm not saying tear down the roster, but I'm saying you need an extra element.
So what happened to Kevon Looney playing 15 to 20 minutes a game? He just depleted in value?
His skill set is limited, dude, honestly. Like he
I remember like him getting good minutes, like 15 to 20 minutes. That's what they needed.
But they need the offensive threat. He's no offensive threat. He does not space the floor. In this NBA, you need a big who can space the floor. Draymond can't space the floor because they're like, yeah, sure, Draymond, shoot. You need a center where it's like, oh, shit, we don't want to just leave him out and open or else he'll score.
Gary Payton kind of fell off a little bit too, huh?
He played good minutes. He played good minutes. Off the bench, I think Gary Payton's a great he can play good defense. He showed in the playoffs he can kind of shoot when he gets a good look. I think Gary Payton's a good asset off the bench.
Okay.
Really, okay. I think they just need a skilled big man. Okay. That's what I think.
Fair enough. I mean, that's not a lot to ask for, which it is kind of hard to get a skilled big man, but
it's hard. But they need it, like a Chet. If they got a Chet, or if they had a Miles Turner,
if the Nuggets
they would win a. We kind of do. What do you mean? We kind of do, bro. We have a center who's skilled.
Chet is very, very fucking explosive, if you ask me. I think that the way they feed off of that lengthy ass white boy's explosiveness is crazy. They feed heavy off of that. Jokic can't do nothing close to that. But Jokic is a 10x of Chet. Yes. Yeah. So, but Jokic is 10x. Yes. All right, the Cavaliers. This is the funny one to me. I don't got nothing to say. They just need to stop pretending like they're going to make the finals. That's what the Cavaliers need to do. Stop doing this. Like, what? Like, I'm not, like, pro-Illuminati. I'm not pro-establishment or anything like that, but nobody wants to see Cleveland go to the finals until you get a generational talent like a LeBron James who's born and raised there. Like, this Cleveland thing is getting ridiculous, right? I love their roster. I think if the Nuggets could get two players from top to bottom from their roster, they're back in the championship. I think that they're a great team who plays the game correctly. I think Donovan Mitchell plays the game right. I think he doesn't abuse his athletic power. He's a great player. He's not even a superstar. He's just a really, really great player. I don't think that the Cleveland Cavaliers need to be a play-in team. It's getting piss poor. You know why? Because you don't play the best basketball people have ever seen, which people aren't watching. And that's not me. I'm just saying that I don't think people respect the Cleveland Cavaliers to watch them, support Nike deals and all this. I just don't see it with this team. They have a great roster. They have superstar potential roster. They're just not a finals team to me, right? Like, I just don't see it. What do you think they need to do? This team constructed how it is needs to go to the finals. They're just not going to go to the finals. What do you think they need, El Boogie?
I got a message for the Cleveland Cavaliers. You SOBs. I tried to defend you. You were down 0-2 versus the Pacers, and I was like, no, guys, just wait. The Cavs are just hurt. Let them get to full strength. You got to full strength and didn't do shit. Like, what the hell, bro? Like, that is the definition of choking. And I agree with you. Like, it's not necessarily on. It's certainly not on Donovan Mitchell. He was dropping 40 points a freaking night. I don't get it. They have the offensive ability because you have a scorer, you have a more traditional point guard, and the other guard, I forget his name. You have Evan Mobley, who won Defensive Player of the Year, and you have Jared Allen, who's a good defensive big. You have defense, you have offense, you can space the floor. What the hell else do you need to do other than just show up? You're in the East. You didn't even have to play Boston. You know what? Tear down the whole team. Tear down the whole team. Not because they're not a good team, but because they blew it. They freaking blew it. They need to go to the trash. Send them off.
And it just sucks because it's like Garland, Mitchell, Hunter, who else have I seen? Max Strus. They all put in work. They can be championship players just on a championship team. I will take a lot of these players and plug them into the Nuggets right now, right? The way it's looking right now, I will take anybody from their starting five. I will plug Jared Allen and let, we good?
Yeah.
You here?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Did you see that flash down?
I did, yeah.
Okay, I'll edit it out. Anyway, we could put this as it's constructed right now. I will plug in any of their top five into the Nuggets roster and exponentially grow our chances of going to the finals, right? I would love a Donovan Mitchell for like a Jamal Murray. That'd be kind of fire. You know, let's just some backcourt. Let's say they get into it and everything like that. That's a nice little trade for us. Darius Garland's not worth Murray. He could be though. I don't know. I like this roster. Maybe. This is a good roster. Like, this is a good team. Like, DeAndre Hunter does work off of the. I don't know, bro. We don't got to get our blood pressure up. This is a finals team that did not make it to the finals. This isn't a group of A-plus players. This is a group of A- and B-plus players, right? I see A- and B-plus. The Pacers are a bunch of B-plus players. I see a bunch of A- and B-plus players, and they couldn't get over that B-plus team. I don't know why. Number one seed team, 61 wins, 15 losses. The greatest team, not the greatest team. The second greatest team, because I'll give it to the Bulls because they actually won the championship, went 72-10, El Boogie. They were 4 games away from that, right? Or excuse me, 5 games away from that. 5 games away. And they got embarrassed in the second round of the playoffs. Moving on. All right, the Celtics, man, very unfortunate. I'll let you go first. I got a little heartfelt moment for them.
The Celtics, they're tough. They're in a very tough spot because Jason Tatum tearing his ACL. We're probably not seeing him play basketball in the NBA until the start of the 2026 season. So he's pretty much gone all the next season. They have signed everyone to big deals. Derek White's making money. Drew Holiday's making money. Obviously, Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown, they're making big money. I think they're going to have to tear down some pieces. I could see them moving off of a Kristaps. I could see them moving off of a Drew Holiday. We're not going to see this same Boston Celtics roster as currently constructed. I don't think we're going to see it again. So yeah, I think they're in a. My advice to them is similar to the Nuggets. Honestly, retool, try to get cheaper. Retool, try to get cheaper, get Jason Tatum healthy, and take another crack at it. But yeah, I think them contending for a championship next season. I don't see it. They'll be a good team, but I think they're going to get off of some people, get some cap space, and just wait for 2026.
I mean, you said it. The Jason Tatum thing sucks just because, unlike the Cavaliers, I don't hate on the Cavaliers. I hate it on the Celtics. But it's a similar feeling, right? Because it's like these guys aren't going to get over the hump. I hate it on the Celtics because I said they're not going to get over the hump. What did they do? They got over the hump and won the championship as a perfectly constructed team, right? If I was who's their like power forward? I forgot his name. It's time to retire.
Porzingis?
Nope. What's his name? Don't they got that old dude with big ears still?
Oh, Al Horford.
this would be a good time to exit, right? Because I don't see them being what they were this year, specifically without Jason Tatum. But more importantly, now that everybody has to find new roles, right? Jalen Brown, that ridiculous contract, El Boogie. How you feel about that contract now, knowing
Uh,
that Jason Tatum's out for at least a year and a half? And by a year and a half, I mean it's going to take some time before they get back into the flow of, is he capable of being the superstar of the team?
they
Huge contract.
that contract is not going to age well. They put themselves in a, not to make a football analogy, but they put themselves in a similar situation as they did as the Dallas Cowboys did, where you draft players that end up becoming very very talented, and you have to pay them a lot of money, but then the rest you don't have a lot of, but then you don't have money for everyone else. Like when you're gonna have to give big money to Dak, CD, and Micah, you don't have money for everybody else. The Celtics are gonna be in that same position because they had to pay Jalen Brown a ton of money, and it's not necessarily their fault because they drafted him and he worked out. That's what happens when you draft well, but I don't know. That contract's not going to be worth it because I don't think Jalen Brown is an A+ superstar that can carry a team to have a very successful season. I think they're going to be a playoff team next year, but not a championship contending team.
Yeah, I see them easily being like like
Like a 6th seed, a 5th seed,
like fifth, sixth. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The number one thing they need is to maybe develop the bench. I don't think their goals are championship next year. Their goal is just to develop players to see who they want for if their supermax player comes back and could be the superstar while having another superstar salary on the roster. I'm not a Jalen Brown hater at all. I just don't think he's going to live up to the contract because that wasn't his job to live up to the contract. His job was to be the secondary superstar contract on the team who, helps them win the championship. But that all got twisted up. So, yeah, they're just going to develop the back end of their roster next year. That'd be the main goal. Nothing to it but to do it. But, all right. We've given a lot of attention to the guys who didn't make it, El Boogie. We got a good amount of time, but we'll kind of get through it, man. El Boogie, as it stands right now, the Thunder are coming off of an ass whooping that only they gave the Nuggets. I think it was 149-101. But with that being said, they handily beat the Timberwolves in the first two games of the series. I thought this series was looking really, really bad because I thought the Thunder's ability to play with way too much energy, just like they were doing against their wins against the Nuggets, the energy level that they could play at it looks unstoppable. Until that game 3, we saw energy get just ripped back by the Wolves. El Boogie, how do you see the rest of this series playing out? And what's your take so far 3 games in?
The fact that every game has been a blowout has made this really hard to get a feel for as a series. Will it come down to who has home court advantage, which obviously the Thunder do. But yeah, honestly, I think this is going to come down to who's going to put on the best performance on the road. Both teams are gonna play well in their home court. I don't know what's with Anthony Edwards. I was surprised to see him not be super effective in games 1 and 2. He just wasn't. Like, if you ask me who played the best on the Timberwolves games 1 and 2, it was Julius Randle.
Absolutely.
So I don't know what made him so ineffective, especially when they had rest for 4 or 5 days. So yeah, I think it's critical for the Timberwolves to win Game 4 at home. If the Thunder steal Game 4, they have won the series.
Yes.
If the Thunder steal Game 4, they have won the series. If it goes back 2-2, okay, who can play the best on the road? Is it gonna be the Warriors or the Timberwolves? But Timberwolves, you have to handle business on home court. Anthony Edwards, you need to ball out. I think the ass whooping that the Thunder got the other day was also partially attributed to the Thunder having just a poor night, which happens here and there. They just had a poor night. they're not going to lose game 4 like that, but they could lose game 4. So we'll see. I think game 4 is going to be pivotal for the series, obviously.
I agree with you. I'm for entertainment purposes, I really want the Timberwolves to win tomorrow, right? I really want this to be 2-2 because yes, game 4 is the pivotal moment, but let's just say hypothetically, game 4, the Wolves win. I think the most important game in this series will be game 5. I think if the Wolves pull game 5, then they will win this series in 6. I have no disbelief in what they did to the Thunder at home that they would beat them in a game 6. The problem is if they lose this game 4, I do believe they'll be depleted enough to not finish through. Game 4 is the biggest game, but man, that game 5 will probably be one of the best games we've ever seen. I do think that both teams will know, like, whoever wins this game 5 will win this series, right? I think that will be the most special, most exciting, most, like, fast-paced. We want to win this game. Maybe even low scoring, right? I can see the superstars really having to take over and I could see defense being played on 10. I could see somebody really having to step up. I could see a 92-96 court game, right? I really can't see that. I don't think all that 3-ball stuff's going to fly game 5. But with that being said, for us to get there, it has to be a Wolves game 4. Now, I don't know how the Wolves are going to feel because when you win by such a large margin, I don't really know how it feels to go into the next game. Like, you might think, oh, we got their card, we're at home, we're just going to keep ramping them up, or they're going to scheme against everything they did wrong, and they're going to play that high-energy basketball.
Oh, yeah, no, game 4, even if the Timberwolves do pull it, it's going to be a battle. Because the Thunder are just like, we just got embarrassed. No, that's not happening 2 nights in a row. So game 4 is going to be a dogfight. And I think it's going to be a huge momentum swing. I mean, going back to OKC tied 2-2, the Timberwolves will have life.
That's
will
have
life.
Ones though. I think game 5 will be the biggest thing in the world, but we do have to hold the Wolves responsible at game 4. Okay, I do have the Wolves winning if they win game 4. El Boogie, if the Wolves win game 4, who are you feeling strong about? I don't know if you said it, but I'm going to get you to say it again.
If the Wolves do win game 4, I think I'm still going to take the Thunder.
Okay. They're a great team.
I think I'm still going to take the Thunder. I think what it's going to come down to is who can be more consistent, which I think throughout the course of the playoffs, we've seen Ant be amazing, and we've seen him be underwhelming. But the Thunder, they've been more or less consistent besides a bad team game here. Their key players have showed up. I don't know. Jalen Williams has had some up and down games, but I think the Thunder are going to take it. I think I think they have eclipsed the young team. We're young. I think they've eclipsed it. I think they're experienced. I think they're ready. I think they know this is their year to make it happen. And it literally is their year to make it happen because they're going to have to start paying people soon. So that roster's not going to stay the way it is for a long time. So this is their moment.
Wolves in 6, I hope, but Thunder in 7. Wolves in 6, Thunder in 7. And the only way Wolves in 6 is if they win the next. I'm asking a lot too. I'm asking them to win the next 3 games.
That would be the Wolves winning 4 games in a row if they won in 6.
But just think about it, El Boogie. That game 5, if they tie this series up, will be one of the greatest games. I believe that will be the greatest game. I think if you give Anthony Edwards the ability to come kill you at home after 2 good games. And I know Shai's not going out like that. I know the energy that they play with inside Oklahoma City Thunder is, man, that's on my Christmas list. I know Christmas don't come early too often, but if it could, that's what I want. Okay. But moving on. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Knicks are actually down 2-0 after 2 home games. And they're going to play in a couple minutes here, actually. We are recording this on a Sunday. It's not looking good, but I'm not sold on the Pacers until they are up by 3 games, though, Boogie. How do you feel about this series as far as we are, how it's constructed? And I would like to throw in there, the Pacers have been playing have been playing really great on the road, but not so well at home. So how do you, with that little statistic, I don't think that's a statistic. But anyways, with that little thing in there, how do you feel about the Pacers moving forward in the series and the Knicks being down 2-0 after 2 home games in New York, the Garden?
Yeah, the fact that the Knicks have essentially lost home field advantage now, you have all of the energy in Madison Square Garden, and you couldn't win. I'm not mad at the Knicks for losing game 1 because they lost game 1 off of Haliburton heroics, which is just, they lost it because it was a close game and they just lost it by just this much. Game 2, that's your bounce back game. That's where you show, nope, on our home court, we're going to ball out. Our fans want us to win. We know we can win. And they came up short again. I don't have faith in the Knicks to win this series. You can't win with that energy. And it's weird because I don't know what it is. I feel like they played with more energy and more urgency last year when their team was mostly injured. They were relying on their bench depth to show up. That team played with a lot more energy than this team. And I can't explain it. Maybe the drive's not there. Maybe Jalen Brunson is Jalen Brunson. Cat has been kind of up and down. Honestly, I'm surprised. This should have been a series. I think they're both teams with a bunch of B+, maybe some A- talent, but the Pacers have been more consistent as a team, not necessarily individuals. But it's like one game, Haliburton can go off. Another game, Miles Turner can go off. Another game, Siakam can go off. They always have someone who can show up for them, and it doesn't have to be the same person every night. I think the Pacers are going to the finals.
I just wanted to see that. First of all, I want to talk about Jalen Brunson. I think Jalen Brunson is amazing. I think Jalen Brunson really is under 6 foot. I don't care what nobody says. He does not look above 6 foot. But the way he plays, I have a lot of respect for Jalen Brunson's game. Like, I think, first of all, no face reactions, right? And that might be a personality thing. No, not too much complaining. I mean, of course, they are playing a sport. We've all, there are certain things you're not going to like. But as far as, like, overly complaining or anything like that, he's a very is-what-it-is guy. He moves on to the next play. He puts the last play behind him and moves on. I like the way Jalen Brunson plays the game basketball. I like Anobi. I like his. I like the way Anunoby. I like the way he plays as well, right? So those are 2 dogs on there. And first of all, we're not going to disrespect Josh Hart like he's not a dog out there every single night. I like the Knicks. I like Jalen Brunson a lot. I'm a fan of Jalen Brunson. I can honestly say I like the way he plays the game. I like the way he goes about the game. I like the way he goes about his job. I like that he tried to save them in game 2. And he did everything he possibly can. I hate that last shot, and we posted that on our page. I hate that last shot. But he knew in that moment that no matter what, I'm taking this last shot, and he was willing to deal with whatever came next. You're down 2-0. That's the best things I could say about the Knicks, right? The Pacers are going to go to the finals. And the reason the Pacers are going to go to the finals is because everybody knows where they need to be and who they need to be on any given night. It's very hard for a team to establish that. Pascal Siakam had 26 points in the first half in game 2. Everybody played horrible, and they were only down by 3 points. They were able to rally as an entire team and take over the rest of the game. There is no chance that the Knicks have winning this series. You know why? Because they're playing a team that has more identity than them. And I'm not saying the Knicks don't have identity. It's clear who's who on the Knicks. But when Pascal Siakam's going for 26 in the first half, Jalen Brunson's he's not defending. He can't do nothing about that, right? You can't outscore him because he did. He honestly outscored him, right? Not in total points. I think Pascal had like 40. He had like 31. But my bigger point is like when it comes to identity of a team, the Pacers have established a stronger identity than anybody I've seen in this playoffs. Even the Thunder. Don't forget, the Thunder were just in a game 7. The Pacers, they dogged everybody else. It's not looking good. It's looking like another 4-1. And the only thing that could change that is if the Knicks win tonight and win in 2 days. And
Oh
Boogie.
yeah. They have no room for error. You have to go back to MSG. If you go back to Madison Square Garden tied, okay,
Whew.
you proved me wrong. Okay, but other than that, it's Pacers to the finals, and it kind of hurts my heart because I wanted to see New York Knicks fans. I wanted to see them tear that city up.
Go crazy.
I wanted to see them tear that city up, but we may not get what we want. At least not this year.
And that's where I say that's where the conspiracy starts coming in. Like, maybe they know it'll be like 5 years worth of property damage, right? Like, New York City in flames. Like, they're like, you know what? It sucks we have to do it to Jalen Brunson. It sucks we have to do it to such a $1 billion franchise, but we just cannot handle this right now. So they called the commissioner and they said, look, bro, we can't do it. Not this year. You know. But, I mean, hey, I don't know. But, yeah, no, we know. The Pacers are going to the finals. Shout out to Haliburton, you know. This is the second year in a row he's done some crazy things in the playoffs. So, will he be the youngest out of the? How old is Haliburton? He's older than
the youngest is Ant.
Yeah, he's older.
The youngest is Ant, but they're all young. Like I said, they were all young players who showed talent on the team that drafted them, and they got shipped off because the team went with another option. The Mavericks chose Luka over Brunson, which no one blamed them for, obviously. The Kings, they wanted De'Aaron Fox over Haliburton. Coin flip on that one. And then SGA, well, SGA wasn't SGA back on the Clippers.
13 points, wasn't. Though. 13 points rookie year.
No, he was good. But he wasn't the same. But they could have given him more opportunity to develop, but they wanted Paul George. They thought they were win now mode. They thought super team, but didn't work out that way.
Hey, man. All right, man. Looks like scary enough. We're looking at a Thunder Pacers game, which, you know, two small market teams. You know, we like you said when it was the Nuggets and the Miami, people probably weren't like, oh, this is the one we were dying to see.
Yeah, people didn't love that. They didn't. We did, obviously, but people didn't love that.
I would love to see Haliburton fix all of Reggie Miller's mistakes, though. Not mistakes. All of Reggie Miller's things that he wasn't able to do. So it would be dope to see him get one for Indiana. The Thunder, though. I don't know. That's going to be a good defensive. I don't know. I like it as a finals.
It'd be a top offense versus a top defense.
Yeah, I'm going to watch every single game. Every single game. All right, El Boogie, to end out the show, we're going to give a couple shout-outs, man, to our CU boys. You know, they hit headlines for Colorado for the past 2 years. They've been making headlines 2 years prior to that with all the things they were doing at Jackson State. These guys are officially in the NEAT League. Shout-out to Shiloh doing some things for the Bucks. Shout-out to Shador, who seems, you know, it's all fantasy right now. It's all, oh, I heard he had a good day here and good day there. They're leaking stories to the media. We're not even focused on football right now, so we could just say all of it's BS. But apparently Shador is moving up the ladder as far as solidifying himself in that quarterback room. We don't know. We're not going to know until they suit up the pads and we see. We're not going to know until they establish the depth chart. And, of course, shout out to Travis Hunter. He actually got married. Him and his long-term girlfriend got married. So we appreciate all your guys' service at CU. We appreciate the rest of the CU boys, man. That was a hell of a ride. Shout out to Coach Deion, who's still here, you know, and we look forward to next season. But anything with any of those three fellas?
Hey man, the Colorado community appreciates y'all. It's been a crazy month for Travis. Like I looked at his schedule from like middle April to now. The man got his number retired at CU. The next week got drafted. Then like 2 weeks after that, graduated from CU, and then just got married yesterday. That's a hell of a 5 weeks. That's a hell of a 5 weeks.
When greatness is upon you.
All in the midst of doing rookie training camp or rookie mini camp
in Jacksonville.
Have you seen the clips of him in Jacksonville?
Yeah, I saw like they're hating on a lot of, like Abdul Carter like got not pancake blocked, but he just got blocked out or some stupid shit like that. But they were like, there was a really good comment on their Travis Hunter one. it says, "Oh yeah, we're in the time of the year where people are complaining and making suggestions towards people who aren't wearing pads, haven't been through hitting camp." And I'm like, facts. Like we're at the time of the year where any little thing could go viral. And this is the time of year where Pete Carroll is a quarterback. Think about that. Like that happens right now. It doesn't matter when the pads get on. It doesn't matter when, look, 2 months from now, there'll be thousands of reps in the standard, the training program, everything, right? Cool. He caught the ball with his body. Cool. He might have got blocked. Cool. He threw an interception in 7-on-7 when nobody's in shape.
Oh, they were clowning on Mason Graham, the defensive tackle the Browns drafted in the first round, because he puked at rookie minicamp. Like he did a drill and puked. And it was just like, y'all, it's football. Like it happens. Shit happens.
Every single year I came into the season out of shape. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. So I'm like, I don't take none of it. That comment was very huge for me. They're like, this is the time of year where everybody's freaking out about stuff that doesn't matter 3 months from now. Hey. All right. Just so we get out of here before an hour, does Shiloh make the roster, yes or no? And why? Briefly.
It's going to be hard for him because he's, as an undrafted free agent, I think you have to show effort. You have to show talent in your position, like you do, and obviously you're going to end up being mostly a special teams player and maybe a depth player. So Shiloh plays safety. And Shiloh is a very limited coverage safety. He is a traditional strong where he can maybe play some deep zone coverage. Don't ask him to do too much. He can run up and make a tackle. We saw a bunch where he ran up and made some good tackles in the open field. It's just, is that enough to keep him around? It is going to come down to what he can do on special teams. Now, if he can make a name for himself as like a solid effort, make a tackle, which again, he can make a tackle. If he can do that, then he definitely has a shot of making that roster. But I think it's also going to come down to what is he showing in his position? What is he showing in those position meetings? What is he showing when the DBs go and do their separate drills? Is he showing potential to be a solid depth piece? Because there's a lot of players who can be special teams players. But if our strong safety gets injured, can I count on you to go in the third quarter of a game and not mess up? Can I count on you to do that? Because if they can't, there's not a ton of value in keeping them. So I hope so. I think it's 50-50.
I want him to make the roster. I mean, there's been crazy roster makes. There's been crazy roster mistakes. I don't know. So I hope he makes the roster. It's just only 53. I hope he makes it. Shador. I mean, we can't throw it out the window technically. Like, I hope he makes the roster. Like, he will, and he will be on a roster. But you never know. You never know. And then, of course, Travis isn't even a part of this discussion. We know where he's playing next year. Like, we know he actually has plays set up for him already. Yeah. But anyways, that about wraps up another episode of El Boogie and the Bell. El Boogie, can you take us out, please, good brother?
Hey, once again, we appreciate y'all tuning in to El Boogie and the Bell. Make sure to check out the full video on YouTube. Like the clips on TikTok. Leave a comment. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what you want to see. Let us know where we're right and let us know where we're wrong. Once again, happy Memorial Day weekend to all y'all, and we'll see y'all here next time.
Peace!